Municipal bonds are offering the yields you're looking for. Here's where to look. Barron's. A 5% muni now offers a tax-equivalent yield of almost 8% for individuals in the top federal tax bracket. A historic rout in the bond market this year has resulted in the highest yields on municipal bonds in 15 years and what looks like an excellent buying opportunity. At midweek, the muni market, as Mayor, plus 205 chars. Casamigos Halloween draws insane number of celebrities in costumes, TMZ. Casamigos has put COVID in its rearview, throwing the first Halloween party since the pandemic, and tons of celebs showed up to celebrate. Casamigos has put COVID in its rearview, throwing the first Halloween party since the pandemic, and tons of celebs showed up to celebrate. Let's start with the guest list, which is pretty insane. Plus 1075 chars. Justin Verlander's World Series struggles continue with disappointing outing in Astros Phillies. Game 1 CBS Sports. Verlander started off strong but 2 out hits hurt him and the Astros on Friday night. For a while, Houston Astros ace Justin Verlander looked poised to twirl a gem against the Philadelphia Phillies. In Game 1 of the World Series, he didn't allow a base runner through the first 3 in plus 2665 chars. I think my wife is faking her chronic illness, and more advice from Dear Prudence, Slate. She may have written into this column. Dear Prudence is Slate's advice column. Submit questions here. It's anonymous. Dear Prudence. My wife, Laura, and I have been together for 10 years and we've mostly had a good relationship until the plus 7451 chars. See NASA destroy its vintage Marshall Space Flight Center headquarters. Video. Space.com. It's the end of the road for Building 4200 at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. NASA destroyed one of its own vintage buildings early Saturday, October 29, sending the vintage structure off with a literal bang. The space agency intentionally demolished its historic Building 4200. Plus 2994 chars. Justin Verlander's World Series struggles continue with disappointing outing in Astros Phillies. Game 1 CBS Sports. Verlander started off strong but 2 out hits hurt him and the Astros on Friday night. For a while, Houston Astros ace Justin Verlander looked poised to twirl a gem against the Philadelphia Phillies. In Game 1 of the World Series, he didn't allow a base runner through the first 3 in plus 2665 chars. Resident Evil 4 Remake. 13 awesome things we noticed while playing. IGN null. Twitter is now owned by Elon Musk. Here's a brief history from the app's founding in 2006 to the present. CNBC. Here's a timeline of Twitter's most notable moments over the past 16 years. A decade ago, Twitter's future was looking bright. The company was benefiting from a flood of funding into the social networking space, eventually leading to an IPO in 2013 that raised $1.8 billion. Plus 7598 chars. Maya Rudolph reveals David Letterman made her feel embarrassed and humiliated during first time on show. Fox News. 50-year-old comedian Maya Rudolph reflected on her first appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman, and noted she felt humiliated by the television host. Maya Rudolph recalled feeling embarrassed and humiliated during her first appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. He said my name wrong. And I just sat there. I grew up my whole life in +2556 chars. Brazil election goes to the wire after ill-tempered final TV debate. The Guardian. Veteran leftist Lula da Silva holds slender poll lead over Jair Bolsonaro as national divide grows. Before Sunday vote, the two political heavyweights vying to become Brazil's next president have locked horns during the final television debate before a momentous election with profound implications for the Amazon rainfall. +6890 chars. Want to lower your stress? It may just take 4 weeks of eating these kinds of food. Science alert. When it comes to dealing with stress, we're often told the best things we can do are exercise, make time for our favorite activities, or try meditation or mindfulness. When it comes to dealing with stress, we're often told the best things we can do are exercise, make time for our favorite activities, or try meditation or mindfulness. But the kinds of foods we eat. +5352 chars. Monstrous asteroid to speed by Earth next week. Fox News. RM4 2022. An asteroid with an estimated diameter of more than 2,400 feet is expected to swing by Earth on November 1, speeding at around 52,000 miles per hour. A large, potentially hazardous asteroid is expected to swing fewer than 6 lunar distances from Earth at the beginning of next month. The asteroid, known as 2022 RM4, is expected to pass by Earth. +2038 chars. T.J. Hawkinson understands trade rumors are part of the business. NBC Sports. The cellar-dwelling 1 to 5 Lions could be sellers at the trade deadline. And one of the names making the rounds is tight end T.J. Hawkinson. Hawkinson, a fourth-year player who is under contract through 2023, understands the chatter. Listen. I'm not stupid. I know. The cellar-dwelling 1 to 5 Lions could be sellers at the trade deadline. And one of the names making the rounds is tight end T.J. Hawkinson. Hawkinson, a fourth-year player who is under contract through +1321 chars. Apple iPhone updates. Which one is best? Fox News. 2 new iPhone operating systems have recently been made available by Apple. The released iOS 16.1 and iOS 15.7.1 reportedly both address the same security issues. More than a month after the release of iOS 16, Apple has made iOS 16.1 and iOS 15.7.1 to its iPhone users. Both of the updates address the same security issues and include a number of new changes. +2127 chars. Twitter could split into strands allowing users to stage rows. Elon Musk says. The Guardian. The billionaire owner suggests the platform could have different video game-style modes, including a player versus player. Elon Musk has indicated that Twitter could be split into different strands where users give their posts content ratings and stage online rows in a specially created space on the platform. The world's +5120 chars. Kanye West's Donda Academy student athletes left in limbo. TMZ. Kanye West closing his Donda Academy has left the program's student-athletes in limbo, wasting a season's worth of developing their talents. Kanye West closing his Donda Academy has left the program's student-athletes in limbo, wasting a season's worth of developing their talents. Sources connected to the Donda boys basketball team T+, 1151 Chars. Jake Paul vs. Anderson Silva free live stream. Prelims. Fight card updates. Bloody elbow. Watch the Jake Paul vs. Anderson Silva event here. Watch the Jake Paul vs. Anderson Silva event here. Why do some people just not get hangovers? Daily Mail. Some people's ability to avoid a hangover is caused by their inherent genetic mutations. Around 1 in 5 people have the necessary genetic mutations. If you've got a friend who appears completely immune to the dreaded symptoms of a hangover, they probably have their genes to thank. Many have heard stories that drinking the same drink throughout T+, 5511 Chars. Haunting portrait. NASA's Webb Space Telescope reveals chilling pillars of creation. SciTech Daily. Webb highlights the velvet-like lining of dust throughout this star-forming region, including shells around actively forming stars as seen here. The pillars of creation appear otherworldly in mid-infrared light. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has captured. By Space Telescope Science Institute October 29, 2022. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope's mid-infrared view of the pillars of creation strikes a chilling tone. Thousands of stars that exist in this Reggie +7132 Chars. Kevin De Bruyne stunner gives Manchester City lead v. Leicester City, Premier League, NBC Sports. NBC Sports. Kevin De Bruyne pings an unstoppable free kick in off the post to give Manchester City a deserved breakthrough against Leicester City. #NBC Sports #Premier League. Null. A USB-C iPhone won't kill the lightning cable. Yet. CNET. Commentary. Even when the USB-C iPhone arrives, the Lightning port might be more present on Apple's products than you think. In a rare occurrence this week, Apple provided a tangible clue about the iPhone's future. Company executives confirmed that Apple will comply with the European Union's mandate that all phones in the +5246 Chars ship tweets mysterious teaser. Community feels excited. You today. Shiba Inu has intrigued the community with a new teaser. Disclaimer. The opinion expressed here is not investment advice, it is provided for informational purposes only. It does not necessarily reflect the opinion of You today. Every investment and all trade in +1693 Chars. Kane and X-Pac win the WWE Tag Team Championship. Raw. August 9, 1999 WWE. The Big Red Machine and future two-time WWE Hall of Famer X-Pac team up to earn Tag Team Gold against the Acolytes before Kane utters his first ever words on Null. Suspect in assault at Pelosi home had posted about QAnon, the Associated Press. The man accused of breaking into House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's California home and severely beating her husband with a hammer appears to have made racist and often rambling posts online. including some that questioned the results of the 2020 election. Defended the man accused of breaking into House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's California home and severely beating her husband with a hammer appears to have made racist and often rambling posts online, including some +4290 chars. Flu season in the U.S. hasn't been this bad this early in more than a decade. Now is the time to get a flu shot, CNN. Flu season has ramped up early in the United States, and flu hospitalizations are worse than usual for this time of year. According to data published Friday by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, flu season has ramped up early in the United States, and flu hospitalizations are worse than usual for this time of year. According to data published Friday by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and +4186 chars. Ray of joy. NASA captures image of the sun, smiling. The Guardian. Satellite photo shows what appears to be a happy face pattern on the sun with dark patches called coronal holes. A NASA satellite captured an image of what appeared to be a happy face pattern on the sun earlier this week, prompting the U.S. Space Agency to say the sun was seen smiling. The agency released the IM. +1685 chars. Jackson Smith in Jigba. Cameron Brown among 15 Buckeyes unavailable for Ohio State's matchup with Penn State, LA. 11. Warriors. 15 Buckeyes are listed as unavailable for Saturday's Ohio State-Penn State matchup, including Jackson Smith in Jigba and Cameron Brown. On Tuesday, Ryan Day said, "The plan was for Jackson Smith in Jigba to play against Penn State. Things didn't go according to plan." The junior Ohio State wide receiver is one of 15 Buckeyes listed as U+2590 chars. Some AMD Ryzen 5 7600X desktop CPUs comes with dual Zen 4 CCDs, WCCF Tech. An AMD Ryzen 5 7600X CPU is pictured with dual Zen 4 CCDs, which means that some Ryzen 7000 CPUs with 8 cores or lower ship with 2 CCDs. AMD's Ryzen 7000 desktop CPUs come in 2 flavors. One with a single CCD design and the higher core count variants with dual Zen 4 CCDs. However, it looks like AMD might be shipping some AM5 Ryzen 5 +2278 chars